Shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's some social shit for everyone, you know what I'm saying? Like, I made this be myself, so hear me. Woo! I mean, like, we can pull that clown shit away. This some real shit for you. I'm spazzing right now, so listen, let's go. Yeah. It's in their bones, the thugs in harmony for the love of the money. Then fall victim for the cookie, then turn pussy, it's lonely. You said you hold it down when life get rough, we're here now, so show me. We move them losses to them wins. Heavy pounds, we make it ends meet. Converts of only a few who make me feel like I be 10 feet.
Yo, what's going on, people, man? We're back with our last edition of the top 4 title chances. We're obviously here to talk about the big dogs. You know what I'm saying? Top of the league, Liverpool. Guys, make sure you're smashing the like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to the damn channel. Obviously, we spent, the last few days, and big up to everybody who's watched this live, been in the chat. Big up those obviously watching on the replay, whether you're a Chelsea fan, whether you're an Arsenal fan, whether you're a City fan, doesn't really matter, man. Big up to your damn selves every single time. Now, obviously, look, we've spoken about, as I said, we've spoken about Chelsea, we've spoken about Arsenal, we've spoken about City. I've given you guys what my percentage is in terms of, looking at them as a team. You guys have let me know as well in terms of what you guys think. So again, I appreciate it. But now we're here to talk about Liverpool. We're here to talk about Liverpool. I've been speaking about Liverpool for a little while, of course. You already know, if you follow the channel, you done know already, in terms of how I view Liverpool Football Club, like in terms of the way I look at Liverpool. Do I rate them, the players that I rate? I think everyone, you already know. I don't really feel like I need to go into that type of deep dive, in terms of Liverpool Football Club. Listen, beginning of the season, obviously, Jurgen Klopp had just left. We then get in Arne Slot. The first thing first is that when we do get in Arne Slot, nobody was rating it. Like, there was maybe a very finite amount of people. And I say that because it was probably about 2 or 3, in terms of who actually sat there and said, this guy's going to be really good. Wrongly, rightly, it doesn't even really matter. That's just what it was. That was the situation, myself included. I looked at this guy and I said, who the hell are you getting in? Alonso? You know what I'm saying? I wanted De Zerbi. Everyone already knows I wanted De Zerbi. He's doing all right at Marseille, to be fair. But yeah, I wanted De Zerbi. Obviously we had the Ruben Amorim. We got Tom Little because he was, his biggest fan. We didn't get him in. And then it almost felt like we just got this 4th choice guy. Yeah, he's the next one available and blah, blah, blah. How wrong we were. How wrong we were. Because ever since this guy's kind of come in, Liverpool, and listen, look, ultimately, and if you watch my Chelsea segment, I spoke about, Enzo Maresca, coming into that Chelsea team, the circus and everything. Slot also had quite a tough job coming in as well. Not obviously in terms of it being a circus behind the scenes, just that the job that you've got to now follow, because of the way people viewed Jurgen Klopp and he was this amazing messiah and all that rubbish, because they looked at him like that, you coming in now, it was like you couldn't put a foot wrong, really and truly. Because if you did, people were waiting for that to happen so that they can be like, oh, yeah, this. And, rivals said, oh, Liverpool going to fall off. And myself included, I thought, yeah, Liverpool would probably, at this point, probably tailor off. And, Man City would be, I expected Manchester City to be a lot better than they are, to be fair. But in just terms of Liverpool, I just thought, yeah, Liverpool going to just be this kind of wash team and, this, that, and the third. Again, how wrong I was. Now, of course, as I always keep saying, it's only 11 games. I ain't going too far with the praise. I'm not going to go too hard in terms of the criticism. I don't think either is necessary, to be honest with you. All we can do is look at the here and now and obviously try and potentially project as to, where we think, Liverpool are potentially going to finish, right? It's so weird because obviously, like I said, guys, and I want people to kind of understand so that there isn't anybody who misconstrues anything I say. We're looking at this after 11 games. So from this point onwards, it's about you guys letting me know and obviously me telling you guys how I see the chances for each of these 4 teams that I've obviously done. So Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester City, and of course, Liverpool. So at this moment in time, and obviously I'll put the percentage in the comment section, I think Liverpool have the best chance of winning the Premier League at this moment in time. They're the only team, in my personal opinion, who have been just consistent with that. I think we've played, what is it now, 17 games this season? I believe so, round about 17. What's that, 11 plus the 4 in the Champions League? That's 15, and then 2 games in the Cups. Yeah, 17 games. We've only dropped points, or dropped not one in 2 games, basically. Arsenal, as you guys can see here, which we obviously drew that game 2-2, and against Nottingham Forest, where we lost 1-0. And to be honest, that game looks like it still haunts, Arne Slot at this current moment in time. The level of consistency: beat Wolves, beat Bologna, beat Palace, beat Chelsea, beat RB Leipzig, drew to Arsenal, beat Brighton twice, beat Bayern Leverkusen, beat Aston Villa. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 9 wins in 10. He has got 9 wins in his last 10 games. It is ridiculous what he is doing at this current moment in time with the team. What he's got the team, in my personal opinion, the way I look at it, is he's got the team playing at this crazy consistent level. Now, listen, of course, if you guys watch my match reactions, you'll know, yes, there are some games I don't think we've played well in. Didn't think we played well against Brighton. Didn't think we played that well against Wolves. I think there's a few. I didn't think we played that well against Arsenal. There's been games. There have been games. Even in this run, there have been games. But ultimately, what he is doing right now is he's getting the victories. And I think I've mentioned this quite a few times when it comes to Arne Slot. The big thing for me with him is that at least, and this is all you can ask for and all you can do, at least in games when things are not working, you're willing to change it around. You'll change formation. You'll take certain players off. You'll bring certain players on to do a different role, not just bringing off a guy to then bring on another guy to do the same thing that the other guy wasn't doing anyway. What's the point in that? I never, like, it doesn't make sense. Do something different. Let's see if we can require something different from this individual, something I've been asking for ages. He is currently now doing so. Heck, we saw it from we should have seen it from the first game against Ipswich, where he took off Jarell Quansah after half. 45 minutes of football, he said, nah, Konate, come on. And it wasn't even like Quansah was even playing that bad. Yeah, he was losing a few jewels in that, but it was the bigger picture. You see those jewels that you're losing, if you continue to lose too many of those, we're going to be put under the cosh, because we were under the cosh in that game. Again, another game where I don't think we played that well. We had a good 45 minutes, but we didn't play good for the first 45 minutes. So when you're looking at it on the face of it, you're just like, right, this guy's a proper deep thinker. And what I think the thing that I love the most when it comes to Arne Slot, and just in terms of, as an overall, people always used to say, oh, gee, you're negative, man. We just won a game, but come on, man, you should. You see me, because of just the way that, like, I watch football nowadays, and obviously a lot of it is to do with obviously doing YouTube videos and stuff like that. I have to watch quite a lot of football to, get to know this player, that player, and how certain teams are, and this, that, and the third, right? So a lot of my time is spent just in the football space, quite a lot, probably too much, if I'm being honest. I need to get a life, but it's football, so it's the thing I love, right? So where I'm in that kind of space, and the point I tried to, like, get to is that understanding, or trying to understand, let me say, what is the difference between a winning team and a bridesmaid, effectively? What is that difference? Because we saw the bridesmaid thing for years with Klopp. So, and again, by the way, I don't know what Slot's going to do. He might not win jack-ish, you know what I mean? So this could all be a moot point. But what are the little things that you as a manager can do? Even if you don't win, which, listen, that I don't mind if you don't win, but if you don't win, what's the best that you can do? What are you showing me that at least he done everything? I can take the L in that kind of situation. You put up your best. I can take that. But when I feel like you're not really, you might be doing your best, to be fair. Let me not even be disingenuous. You might actually just be doing your best, but your best just doesn't seem to be good enough. Fair enough. If that's the case as well, then that's just the case. It is what it is. But I'm talking like, we're playing against certain teams. Are you playing the same way? And then it doesn't work, and then you're going again the same way against another team? Or are you changing it? Are you changing it in mid-game? Are you understanding that at the end of games, it's not about, obviously you got different, everyone's got a different way of like managing and stuff like that. Works for some people, doesn't work for others. I hear it. But I love the way when he comes out after games and it's like, you might be sitting there thinking, yeah, but we just won, yeah, I mean, 4-0, this, that, and he'll be there like, yeah, no, it was good. Yeah, it was good. But I didn't like the fact that we did. I love that. I like hearing those kind of things. I liked it when I was growing up. I like hearing it now. Ultimately, I was a kid back then. So you might want to hear a bit more praise. So maybe that Jurgen Klopp style, it suits kids a bit more. I prefer this style though, because I feel like you're not being patronizing in a sense where it's always going to be about, you know, yeah, amazing. Everything you're doing is just wonderful, and this, that, and the third. And again, like I said, I'm not even trying to be disingenuous because different styles will work for different people, and everybody's different. And obviously, Klopp still won trophies, you know, at Liverpool, so clearly it worked to a certain degree. But I just prefer this style. I just prefer this. This for me is a bit more in the mold, and I don't want anyone to get excited. It's just in the mold of a Pep Guardiola, who is the greatest manager I have ever seen. Yes, I don't care about Fergie. I'm talking about this Pep Guardiola. He's the greatest manager I've ever seen. Because this guy, it's like the hunger to win games, whether it's winning games ugly, the ability and the capacity to understand that in certain games, if something's not working out, I can't just keep going doing the same thing. I need to tweak it. I need to play a different formation. That's not always going to work. We've seen it with Pep Guardiola, Champions League final against Chelsea. Tweaked it too much, you end up losing. It will come back to bite you at points. Fair enough. I get all of that. But in the majority, as a whole, it's worked out for him, don't we think? And I see these same elements from Arne Slot. He just seems like someone who's just on, continuing, going. Like, and it's not, we're not there yet. He doesn't feel that we're at that level. I'm not saying that people think that, but he doesn't feel that we're at that level yet. So where he doesn't feel that, it's like he's like, again, it's that kind of be happy whilst you're in it. Don't get too excited though. And that is where I feel if you're a team trying to win trophies consistently, that's the kind of level I feel that you need to be at. That's where I feel that you need to be at in order for you to be able. It's weird. I understand the euphoria. Obviously, once you win it, then you win it, right? But I feel like you need to get to a space where it's like not the nothing's ever good enough kind of thing. Because obviously, if you do a madness, then you do a madness. But at least get to a stage where it's like, yeah, no, but it can be better. We should be better. We need to be trying to strive for better until you win a treble, until you win a 3P or 4P. You know what I mean? When you get to them kind of levels, then you can start talking your talk and telling people about God knows what. But we're not there yet. And we're just starting this journey with Slot. But I just feel like he has the tools himself. Forget about signings or whatever. He just has the tools within himself in terms of his managerial abilities. That's why I feel like, yo, he's going to be able to potentially, again, I don't know. And I'm not going to hang my hat on him just yet, because I do think that if I just based it on the current squad, I do think that, yeah, we are lacking in certain areas. I'm not saying that we're not going to be able to do enough. So I don't want people to misconstrue, again, what I'm trying to say. I think Liverpool right now, based on the fact that City and Arsenal seem to be, I don't know, on whatever they're on, I feel like we can continue at this level and win the Premier League. I do think that can happen. If we stayed at this level, if City were to go up another level or two, I think that's where the problems start to become. I don't know if City are going to reach that level though. That's where I'm like, I don't really know. So when people ask me, can Liverpool win the title? Yes, I do think Liverpool can win the Premier League title. The way that things are going, I can't say anything else, can I? Like, they're not showing me anything different. Do I think Liverpool win the title? I'm not 200% sure. But if I had to base this on just just if I'm talking about just chances in terms of a percentage, I'm gonna more or less base it on the can than I would the will they, because obviously I don't know if they will, so to speak. But can they? 100%, and they've got the best chance of doing so at this moment in time, especially the sheer fact that they are, sitting 5 points ahead of their nearest challengers, who are Manchester City. Keep this going, considering Liverpool have to play Manchester City after the international break, which is going to be a big game. This is the way I look at it, like this, yeah. So if Liverpool, obviously, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Southampton, by the way, but if Liverpool go and beat Southampton, right, and Man City win whoever their next game is, I think it's against Spurs. Let's say they win that, we're still at the same points, right? 5 points, no worries. If we beat Manchester City and we move on to 8 points, and Chelsea or whatever, let's say they win that game and now they're only a point behind, for example. we're 8 points ahead of anybody in 9 in front. Like we're now far away. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So where we're now, you've built up a bit more of a lead. I look at 8 points as that's 3 games. That's a 3-game turnaround that you kind of need. And really, you probably need the team at the top to lose 3 games in a row. Do I see Liverpool doing that right now? No, I do not. I just don't see that at this moment. I see us losing a game every now and again, potentially, but I don't see us losing 3 on the trot. Then that's when things will start to go a bit pear-shaped. But again, that'll be down to, you know, Arne Slot, potentially other things. But I don't want to use any level of excuses for Liverpool. At this moment in time, you are looking like you are in the driving seat. Now it's just about remaining consistent. And I think that's what he's been able to do, you know, with the team. And I think the team are doing that anyway, just in terms of, you know, their just in terms more or less in their, you know, level of performances. If I'm being, you know, super duper honest. Obviously, you see it, you know, and we're getting goals, they're getting assists. I mean, Mo Salah, he's doing his thing as, you know, as per usual. To be honest with you, him obviously sitting, you know, so high up in the charts, you know, 8 goals a season, 6 assists in the Premier League. You got Luis Diaz, who's obviously got himself 5 goals as well. Diogo Jota, he's got 2. Darwin Núñez obviously got 2. The assists, maybe we need to get a bit more, to be honest. Maybe not rely so heavily on Mo Salah, because then you're going to need, it's weird because he's top of both charts. If he's top of both charts and it's not Luis Diaz scoring, we need other guys to start chipping in with some goals. That would be, you know, a little bit nice. But listen, where you've got a player, you know, like Mohamed Salah, you know, in terms of one of the best players in the Premier League, you know, just in a general sense, you know, if we just looked at it, yeah, you could say now if you want, but just in a general sense, when you're talking about, you know, Mohamed Salah, you know, 10 goals, 10 assists so far this season, you know, in just 17 games, you know, it's the consistency of this guy is ridiculous. It's so stupid. You know, it's almost borderline unfair at this point, you know, for someone to remain this consistent in every season, bar one that he has had at Liverpool. Has he got 10 goals and assists? Like 10 goals, 10 assists in bar one season, and he still got 20 plus in that season, 20 plus goals. He got, I think, like 6 assists or something like that in all competitions. So, you know, he's just remained so consistent. He's been, in my opinion, it's so crazy. I don't even think he's been fantastic. I feel like he's been good, like a 7 out of 10 sort of thing. If you looked at it as an overall over the season, I feel like, yeah, maybe like 7 out of 10 for someone like Mo, which is crazy to think. Because this guy is just about that's when you reach this level, his 7 out of 10 is different to say like Endo getting a 7 out of 10. His 7 out of 10 is at this level, and Endo obviously isn't going to be at that level. Apologies, I use Endo, but that's just what I'm trying to get at in terms of I want people to understand, like, this is what I'm talking about. His 7 is not the same as someone else's 7. That doesn't make no sense because they're at 2 different levels. So of course, when he's performing at a 7, his 7 is still going to be at this elite, you know, kind of level. So, you know, that's just it. Obviously, you got the two stalwarts at the back, Van Dijk, Konaté, been very impressed with them this season, 100%. And then, of course, you've got Gravenberch as well, who's just taken his game, you know, to this like whole different kind of level, which is really, really good, by the way, for Gravenberch. The sheer fact that he has been able to, you know, perform to the kind of levels that he's been performing at. But, you know, having these two at the back, I think having these two at the back, Gravenberch in the middle, with Salah in the forward areas. I know it's not the spine because obviously Salah plays on the right, but you've got in every position, you've got that now. In terms of in defense, you've got your 2 players there. In midfield, you've got your Gravenberch there. And up front, you've obviously got your Mo Salah there. So I feel like Liverpool at this moment in time have the best recipe moving forward. And that's why I feel like if they can just remain consistent, if they can just remain, you know, doing their thing, with all these other players, you know, to still kind of come in, you know, the Diogo Jotas, obviously still got Luis Diaz there, the Chiesa we ain't even seen, Darwin Núñez, Cody Gakpo. Yes, do I rate them at that highly? No, I do not. You know it already. I don't need to lie to you guys. You've heard me enough times, you know, saying it. But like I said, I don't feel like we need it to be this much better in order to go out there and win. I feel like if we remained at this level, and the other teams obviously remain at this level, I feel like Liverpool have a fantastic chance of winning the Premier League. Don't know about any other competitions. I can't gauge. I don't really understand how people gauge like cup competitions, because it's a cup competition, anything can kind of happen, kind of thing. It's not really based off of, you know, anything outside of just on the day. Do you know what I mean? On the day, you might just lose. How about that? Same way we lost to Nottingham Forest. Imagine if that was a final. Now what? Do you get what I'm trying to say? Whereas we know over the course of a season, we're going to finish higher, than a Nottingham Forest. So I think like that's just kind of, where I see, Liverpool. And obviously, as I mentioned before, these are the games that, Liverpool have coming up, especially the next three, very, very key, Southampton, Real Madrid, and then Manchester City. Listen, man, it's going to be tough games. It's going to be tough games, of course, for Liverpool, but I give them the best chance, of actually going out there and, winning the Premier League. If I'm being totally honest, again, we're just looking at this after game week 11. So, like I said, we are gonna take another look after 19 or 20, depending on that next kind of 10, 11 game period. But we will, of course, wait and see. But I want you guys to kind of let me know. I want you guys to really let me know how you feel in terms of Liverpool's title chances. Obviously, put your percentages, of course, in the chat, in the comment section. Once this video ends, let me know, especially what you guys, kind of think. But yeah, like I really can't say much more than, I've been impressed with Liverpool. And they've impressed me the most. Them alongside Barcelona this season, which is so coincidentally funny that they're the two teams that I support. But those two are the two best teams so far, I feel, in Europe at this current moment in time. So it'll be very interesting to see if they potentially face each other in like Champions League or something like that. But yeah, right now, those are the two teams who have just remained at this consistently high level. So listen, man, as long as Liverpool can keep doing their thing, I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be fine, man. But guys, let me know, of course, as I mentioned in the chat, that is the top 4 title chances done and dusted. So as I mentioned, we looked at Chelsea, we looked at Arsenal, we looked at Manchester City, and finally we have looked at Liverpool. I hope you guys have kind of enjoyed it. And it was just something different. Not every day the same type of streams and all that rubbish and talking about the same boring things. Sometimes we've got to throw something in there. We're not here for a long time. We're just here for a good time. Guys, enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll catch you for probably my match preview for our game against Southampton. Big up to your damn selves. Much love, appreciation. Peace.